Namaste and welcome to Yoga Lunch Date with Todd. My name is Todd Norian. I'm the founder of Ashaya Yoga. I want to welcome everyone to this brief class. And also, if you're not already a subscriber to my YouTube channel, please subscribe below. And if you'd like to join the Ashaya Yoga membership, we're doing a 14-day free trial right now. So you can click the link below and you'll have weekly classes plus access to hundreds of hours of videos during this 2 weeks. So welcome. And the title of this class is Renew and Reset Your Intention. And the fall season is really a perfect time to reset your intention because everything is changing. The seasons change, the trees are turning colors, and then the leaves drop off. And, change can bring up some anxiety. And most people really don't like to change. And what can happen is we resist it or we push against the change, not allowing it, or perhaps we would deny the change. But, even like this body ages and it changes. But how many of us are like willingly accepting the change as our hair falls out and our skin gets all wrinkled? So it's very natural to resist change. But when you're really afraid of change, when big things start to change, or you're about to lose a loved one, so much fear comes up. And it's really the driving force that produces that anxiety, is the fear underneath. So yoga is one of the best ways to reduce fear, to calm yourself, to become centered in the storm, and to get back to your heart where you know you're already whole and complete. So we really need to learn how to let go of our resistance to life, resistance to change, and go with the flow. I call that opening to a bigger energy, or opening to spirit, opening to grace. But at the same time, we need the courage inside to rise up so that our fear doesn't keep us back. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is fear walking, which means that you embrace the fear that's there, look at it, listen to it, because fear just wants to keep us safe, but then not let the fear stop us from pursuing our dreams and really accomplishing the goals that we set out for ourselves. And when you can find the balance between this surrender, like letting go to be in the current, and then courage, which is kind of like the rudder that guides the boat in the current of grace, then your heart opens and you recognize your true nature, which is calmness, which is stillness, which is joy. So that's what we're going to do today. All right, so come on up into a standing position and we'll begin. Come into Tadasana with your feet hip distance apart, parallel. Make sure your second toes and front ankles, those lines right through the feet, are parallel. And then palms together in front. Take a breath, open to the bigger energy, and then hug in. With courage, take your shoulders back and keep your heart lifted. Courage to overcome our fear, to not let it stop us. And then thighs back, tail in. And then inhale, ride on the waves of the breath as you stretch your arms up. And then exhale, fold forward, arms out to the side and stretch. Check your feet, make sure your feet didn't turn out. Almost always, when we're not looking, they go back to their habitual pattern. So if your toes turned out, usually it's one foot more than another, then turn it back in. And then inhale with courage, lift your heart up, let the light shine, and then exhale, surrender and bow more. Again, inhale, halfway up, exhale, let go completely. And then hug in, become steady in the storm. Root your feet down, sweep your arms out to the side, come on all the way up, look up. And exhale, flow in the wake of your breath. As if you let the current take you. The winds of grace are always flowing, but you have to set your sails. Fold forward now. Let the winds of grace carry you. Bow, inhale, heart halfway. Exhale again, fold. Root down through your feet, sweep your arms out to the side. Inhale, come up, keep your arms up, take hold of your right wrist and crescent arc to your left. As you stretch left, try to anchor and seat the right foot into the earth more, like you're planting a stake in the earth. steady, even as life changes, even as the seasons change, you stay connected to your heart. Inhale, come up, and exhale, crescent Ardha Chandrasana, the half moon. Happens to be full moon today, or right around that time, but we're doing the half moon fully. Root your left foot down, anchor it into the earth, stretch a little more, and then keep your hips and shoulders on the same plane. Enjoy the stretch while you're at it, and then root the left foot down. Inhale, come up, exhale, arms down. I thought we would go to the wall today and do a little bit of standing poses at the wall. So if you have a wall, you won't need a lot of space, but move yourself over to a wall. You should still be able to see me, okay? And stand 2 feet away from the wall. Place your hands up as high as you can, shoulder distance apart, and then spread your fingers, claw, and isometrically pull your palms down the wall, but keep your arm bones back. And then stick your butt back behind you, create a low back curve, and then surrender your heart, let go, heart toward the wall, and breathe. Keep your ears framed between your arms, and you'll have a stretch all along the inner arms, underarms, and also in the chest area. Breathe. Courage to let go, but not give up. Inhale, slowly come up. Relax your arms by your sides and just shake out your arms, wrists, and elbows. Now step back a little bit further from the wall, 2.5, 3 feet, feet parallel. Hands on your hips, bend your knees, sweep your arms up, and then exhale, fold, hands at hip distance, hip height at the wall. Good. Wrist creases point straight up. Walk your feet back just far enough so your ankles are directly underneath your hips, best you can. And then bend your knees a ton so you can produce a low back curve. Try to pull the inner edges of your feet back, the inner knees, the inner thighs, the inner sitting bones go back, and the sitting bones lift to create a little ski jump right here in the low back. So the spine should go in there. And then keeping the curve, pull your tailbone in, pull your lower belly in and up. For those that are super flexible in your back, or if you have a sway back, then you got to pull your ribs up a little bit more. But now, while you hold all that, see if you can melt the heart down. The space right in between your shoulder blades melts. That is the tightest, stiffest part of the spine for most people, and it's the hardest to access. So if you could lift your arm bones a little higher, you'll notice how the heart sinks lower. So with courage to face change, lift your arm bones up and turn the upper arm externally. With your arm bones going up toward the sky, melt your heart toward the earth. And then from your hips, push down through your feet. You can start to stretch your legs a little straighter as long as you keep a low back curve, and then push pelvis into the hands, from the pelvis to the hands. Very good. And inhale, come up, step in, and again, shake out your arms. Take some deep breaths. Even though we have the wall, which gives us a lot of support, it's still a lot of work, which is all good. Okay, now step your right foot at the wall, curl your toes up the wall. The ball mounds are right in the crack of the wall. Step your left foot back with your heel up, squeeze your legs, and then bend your right knee into a square. Full deep breaths. So this can feel pretty stable as it is. Draw your hips square to the front wall. But I'd like you to experiment making it even more stable. So find yourself a block, and with your toes at the wall, bend your knee, and you're going to put the block between the wall and your knee. So you can push the block with your knee. Okay, so push the block. You'll notice right away, you want to go deeper. So take your left foot back a little bit more. Turn the left hip forward toward the wall, right hip back away from the wall. And then from your pelvic core, just push knee into the block. Notice how much more steadiness this creates. Stay steady in the storm, tailbone in, and then when you're ready, see if you can take your hands away from the wall, palms parallel, and begin to arch back a little bit. Then take your left hand back to the left thigh. Balance is tricky, so for more balance, push your knee into the block. Very good. Switch your arms. If you can't quite make it hand to thigh, bring hand to hip. And stretch. Root your pelvis down, lift your side waistline up and curl back. Take a big breath. Release both hands to the wall and then step your back foot forward. You might lose the block, which is fine. Other side, left toes at the wall. Bend your left knee, squeeze the block there. And then step your right foot back more. Turn your heel so it's straight up and down. Don't let the heel cave in to the middle. Because when you turn it up, you internally rotate the back thigh. That drives your right hip forward more. Square the hips, left hip back and down. And then pull your tailbone in. And from your pelvis, push straight back through the right heel, goes back and forward through the left knee and push the block into the wall. Let that be the stabilizing factor, and then stretch your arms up. When you're centered in your heart, you can focus better. You can accomplish more things. Everything gets better when you're centered. So take some breaths now. That's one of the benefits of yoga, is to center ourselves. Well, I want you to get centered amidst this chaotic pose. Balance is really a feature here. Not so easy. Breathe steadiness. Arch back a little bit. Yeah, take a little risk, arch back, but push your knee into the wall. And then right hand to the back thigh, push your thigh up into your hand a little more. And see if that allows you to curl back, which it should. And then switch your arms. With courage, lift your heart. You know, when we're faced with change and challenges never come to put us down. They only come when we're ready to rise up and have a breakthrough. So courageously now rise and then release hands to the wall. And you can come out of that, set the block to the side. But hey, let's do one more standing pose at the wall. Okay, so this time you'll take your right foot at the wall, step your left foot back, both legs straight, and square off your left foot so it's parallel to the back edge, arms up. And ideally, we want the ankles as wide as the wrists. So you can eyeball that. Good. Toes, the toes are up the wall, ball mounds are on the floor. Stretch your arms. And then hug in as though you were able to embrace change. Rather than resist it, push it away. You hug in to embrace it. Thighs back, tailbone in, and then hinge from the top of the right hip and lift your right arm up more. You can go to the wall for support. Left hand to your hip. Work the stretch in the right leg. So squeeze your leg stronger in toward the midline. Hug in, embrace it. Don't lose hold of your center. And don't let the winds of grace blow you away. Open your sails. Then thighs back, tailbone in. You can stretch your left arm straight back behind you. And then lean your ribs toward the wall so you get a little bit deeper stretch all through your right side. We want this whole underbelly of your ribs to open up. That's it. And breathe. Okay, now take your left arm to the wall and start to twist and turn your heart toward the right. Then adjust your back foot, stepping in a little bit and turn it at a sharper angle up to 45, 60 degrees. And now you face the wall with your right leg straight. The pose is different. This is Parsvottanasana. And we're going to keep hands going over to the right. Arms to the right, lean, stretch. And then take your right arm back behind you. Your left hand is somewhere on the wall. And you reach into a twist. And breathe. Lift your kneecaps up strongly. Hug in with courage. To embrace the change. Then inhale, come up, unwind. Step your feet back together. Take a breath. We want to feel a little bit of fatigue in the body. That means you're working your muscles well. But make sure you keep your breath flowing. Switch. Left toes at the wall. Right foot back. The left heel should bisect the center of the right foot. Unless your hips are really tight, then you need a little more lateral width. That means you can step your right foot forward a little bit. So you're more heel to heel. Take the measurement of your wrists. Ankles as wide as wrists. And then hug in. Squeeze. Pull up from the feet all the way up into the pelvic center. Hinge. Touch the wall. This time just leave your right arm straight back, parallel to the floor. Lean your left ribs toward the wall. Take a breath and open to a bigger energy. Remember, we need to open to the bigger energy, especially in times of change, and trust and remember that life has our back and you have your own back. Then hug in to embrace change. Squeeze your legs toward each other. Move your thigh bones back, tailbone in, and from your pelvic center, radiate out in all directions. Courage to radiate the light you have inside, to follow your heart, to follow your dreams, and to bring more joy and light into your life and therefore into the world. Right arm up and over, touch the wall. Walk your hands over toward the left. And then here's where we need to shift the legs. So step your back foot in a little, turn the left foot to a 45 or 60 degree angle. Scissor your legs again and walk further left on the wall. Hold the wall with your right hand and bring your left arm back and start to twist. This part of the left hip, the upper outer hip crease here needs to go back more. And enjoy the stretch. These standing poses are super good for legs, leg stretches, especially if you're a walker, runner, biker, cyclist, skier, whatever you do. Hamstrings always need a good stretch. Release, inhale, come back to center, push off the wall. And come back to the center of your space. And stand, feet wide as the ankles are wide, hands to hips, and then exhale and fold. Very good. Come on down. You can touch the floor or blocks with your hands. Come into eagle talon hands, feet parallel, and bow. Hands to your hips, shoulders back, root down through your feet, and push your feet into the earth to come up and step your feet back together. Okay, very good. Come on to all fours. From the position of all fours, glide your right knee forward. Your right foot will be under the left hip and walk your left knee back for pigeon pose. Keep both hips off the floor so that you can keep the back of the sacrum level on both sides. Come on to eagle talons, lift your shoulders, head of the arm bones back, heart forward, and then push pelvis to the floor and straight back through the left big toe ball mound and forward through the right knee. So you have your left toes curled under. Come all the way down, but keep your shoulders back. As you melt the heart, shoulders are up. It's like you're doing a pigeon cobra here. Breathe into the stretch in the right hip. And what a perfect time to let go. And then hug in, hug muscles to bones to embrace change. When you embrace change, you become even more present. So, I think change is actually quite an amazing phenomenon. And especially as, we go in from summer to fall, the change that you can see is so gradual, but it's really beautiful to stay present, to notice. Step back, downward dog pose. Glide your left knee forward, pigeon. Hips square, curl the right toes under. And then tailbone in, fold forward. And then push pelvis toward the floor and out through the right big toe ball mound. Keep your right heel perpendicular. It tends to splay out to the side. When you push through the big toe, then your heel stays perpendicular. That hugs the shins automatically. Widen your thigh bones apart. Pull your tailbone in. And then work your shoulders. Head the arm bones up like cobra. Heart softens. Breathe. Focus on your left hip now and practice letting go with the breath. And inhale, come up. You can stay on the floor. Stretch your legs straight out. And I'm going to invite you to sit up on a blanket to keep your hips elevated. And with your right leg straight out, bend your left knee and cross it over the right knee. So it's like a half Gomukhasana, half cow face pose. It's called Ekapada Gomukha Paschimottanasana. That's a mouthful. One-legged cow forward bend pose. So lift your hips, stick your butt way back, and try to pull your spine in. Sit up really tall. If you can't get the low back vertebrae in, that's when you know to sit up on blankets. So feel your spine. If you have the dinosaur spines, grab yourself a blanket to sit up on. Then, keeping the front elongated, lift your heart, and with courage, we're going to move toward change. Let's move toward the season coming to us. And so many people say, oh, it's going to get cold soon, even though we've had very warm weather. I hate the winter. So we have this resistance to season change. I'm going to invite you to take your shoulders back and lean with courage in your heart forward and take the change head on and then let go. Walk your hands forward. Hold the little toe edge of your right foot with your left hand. And you kind of pull your torso around to the right as you fold forward. And if you have the flexibility, hold over the toes and just pull the ball mounds and the toes toward you. And that's going to stretch your calf muscle a lot more. This is one of the best calf stretches. And then push your pelvis down into the floor, but extend your heart forward. And breathe into change. And as you hold and breathe, see if you can observe your body changing. Allow yourself to release tension the way the trees release their leaves. Let go. And let the current of life carry you. Then inhale, come up. And a little twist. Take your left hand behind on eagle talons and bring your right arm over the left knee and push the palm back. Palm faces away, thumb down. You push your knee, lift your heart, and take your right shoulder back. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, twist. With courage, rise up. Exhale, turn. And then inhale, come back to center, switch your legs. Left leg out, cross your right knee over. This is a real good one to sit up on a blanket if you can't get the knee very close. Like if your knee is way up here, it's going to be really hard to bend forward. So once you elevate your hips, you get an anterior tilt of the pelvis and you're good to go. Exhale, elongate, push your hands down by your sides, get a lot of length in your spine. With courage, arm bones back, heart forward toward change. Instead of running away from the change, go toward it. I'm not saying it's a bad idea to go down to the tropics during the winters here. Everyone has their thing. Personally, I love the winter because I cross-country ski. Heart toward the foot. Regardless, let's embrace change. Hold the little toe edge of your foot with your left hand and fold even more. Pull your belly back, pull your ribs in. Root the pelvis down, heart toward the foot. And as soon as you start to pull the little toe edge of your foot back, you will start to stretch the calf. You can even put your palm over the toes and breathe. Finally, inhale, come up, twist to the right. To the right, bring your right hand behind in eagle talons. Left hand pushes on the right knee. Inhale, rise. Exhale, twist. Shoulders back to always reveal the heart. You know, here's like the pose when we're just like going in fear. Oh, I'm so afraid of the change. Like this, and everything collapses. Fear is a very contractive kind of response in the body. Courage lifts. Then take the head of the arm bones back. Rise up even more. Rise up to face the change, embrace the change, be at ease in the change. May we find calm in the chaos. Inhale, rise. Exhale, twist. And then inhale, come back to center. Well done. All right, come onto your back. Draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Know that deep in your heart, your intention, this is the time to reset and renew your intention. Perfect time in the fall. What does your heart most deeply desire? See yourself moving in that direction and honor that you are worthy to have exactly what it is that you desire. Bring your feet down to the floor, come into Shavasana, stretch your legs out, first one, then the other. Take the head of your arm bones back, palms are up. Take a big breath in and then exhale, let it all go. Relax your muscles. The next breath, relax your bones, let the bones descend into the earth. And then soften your skin. And envision the glowing light of courage deep in the core of your body, like an ember from a hot fire that's still glowing. And see if you can release your muscles down onto that inner light, like a beautiful tapestry that gets illumined from within. Relax your jaw, your mouth, your tongue, and your eyes. Relax your forehead, the back of your head, and the top of your head. Relax your whole face and let yourself bathe in the light of the universe now for a few moments. Receive all the benefits of the practice. you're ready, slowly return. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Roll to the right. Let your jaw remain soft. And then as you're ready, slowly come up to a seated position. Take a comfortable seat. Roll your thigh bones in manually with your hands. Tailbone in. Join your index fingers and thumbs together. Palms down on your knees. Then close your eyes and sit with your spine tall. Take a moment to reflect on what your heart most deeply desires. And then with courage, embrace that. With courage, you're able to go up and beyond the challenges and the obstacles. You're able to rise up, to really stay steady in the storm, to find the calm in the chaos, and remain with yourself at ease. And then visualize some challenge or conflict, or maybe even a challenging relationship that hasn't been quite worked out. Picture yourself remaining calm, centered, and at ease in the midst of the storm of that relationship. And then imagine a light going through the center of your body, through the midline, and let that light become strong and anchored like a column of light. And allow yourself to let go fully and just offer light and offer love. Let yourself become more humble. We acknowledge the courage it takes to let go of the fight and to come back into your heart, but it is so worth it. Yoga is the process and the means and the practice by which we can return to the heart again and again and get centered amidst all the chaos and craziness of life. Now bring your palms together in alignment with this column of light in front of the heart. And with deep gratitude and courage, we'll take a breath, chant the sound of Om. Om. The courage in me bows to the courage in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for your practice. Thanks for joining me. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Every month I offer another wonderful free class, and there's all kinds of free videos there as well on all different topics. And then come take advantage of the Ashaya membership. You can click, it's right on the website there, and take advantage of our 14-day free trial. If you'd like a class like this, twice a week, I teach Tuesdays and Thursday mornings. It's all recorded. You have access to all the archives of hundreds of classes before that. Also, you have access to a folder that gives a training in the art and method of breath mastery, pranayama, and also the basics of the Ashaya method, how to sit for meditation, and the 5 essential stretches before meditation. All that is available through this 14-day free trial. So you can't lose. Try it out. Thanks for joining me. Blessings.